And I think we should be live. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the F1 2021 leagues here at Gavra Racing. You join us with about 30 seconds left of qualifying for this evaluation race. The Wednesday group streaming live on a Wednesday here at Portimao after a lot of confusion whether or not we'd actually be racing this year on this game. It is all going ahead, and we've got the final evaluation group here at Portimao to get to these 16 drivers in the correct leagues, which should be starting in the next few weeks. I am going to quickly check to see if the stream is actually working, because it is not yet appearing on my... Oh no, there it is. So yeah, we should now be live for the end of qualifying. Uni J has put himself on provisional pole position with drivers starting their final laps here in Portimao. Mason in the Mercedes opens up the DRS to cross the line, moves up just inside the top 10. We're kind of getting straight into things here as we had just a little bit of difficulties starting the stream. Imex Auto is a few hundredths up on his time. Can he improve through the final corner up to the line? Does by 4 thousandths, but stays in 6th place. What about AK Bloody Legend going around the penultimate corner now? He's just down on his personal best. Can he find the extra margins to improve here in Portimao? Move himself higher than 8th. He does. Goes up into 7th place. And I believe that is qualifying done and dusted. My audio is really loud. Let me just turn that down slightly. There we go. Straight into it then. Haven't even had much time to explain what's actually going on, because Boy DeVos is on pole position by just under 0.2 of a second in the McLaren with a 1 minute 16.3. Unique J in second with Farsa in third. Tabby Topdex in fourth. Piero in fifth. Imex Auto in sixth. AK Bloody Legend in seventh. Lucas in eighth. Janzus in 9th, Mason in 10th, rounding out the top 10. Dear Dom in 11th, Alexander in 12th, Dutch Musso in 13th, with JB Cyril in 14th, Tutti Boy in 15th, and Erdon in 16th. After getting disqualified for what I think is going the wrong way. So, qualifying done fairly quickly. Hello and welcome to everyone tuning in. Let's just quickly run through what these evaluations are. So, for this one, we've got 16 drivers in today's group. I think we've had about 16, maybe 17 spread across Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. It's a short qualifying session followed by a 25% race here at Portimao. And the purpose of this is to separate the drivers into leagues based on their pace and ability to race cleanly over the course of a 25-lap race. Raw pace measured in qualifying, but we'll also take into account race pace and overtaking. Just like I was saying earlier, the point is to put all the quick drivers in the quick league and all the not so quick drivers in another league in the most respectful way, just so we don't have one or two drivers dominating both leagues. Hello and welcome everyone, join us in the chat. I'm seeing a few names pop up on my screen. We've got the lights out for the formation lap, and the predicted pit stop strategy should be the easiest soft to medium you've ever done. 25% races don't usually involve too much tyre wear. I've played with the headset of the volume of my headset, and I can't hear anything, which is great. Nice to see this F1 community continue. Yes, indeed, Arpita. Yes, indeed. I had the pleasure of commentating. I think this is my 4th season in commentary. I've done 2 with Toussaint in the Premier and Freshman. I've done last season's Academy. Absolutely amazing season that was. All the previous seasons are over on our YouTube channel, which you should definitely check out. Alexander being disqualified from the formation lap. Not great. He's going to have cold tyres for the start of this race, so won't get a good initial launch. There are the tyres on the screen, all the top 12 on the softs, everyone else on the harder medium tyre. Let's get some information about this track. So the total lap length is 2.9 miles or 4.6 kilometers long. Pole position obviously from the left hand side, famously why Bottas said he liked qualifying in 3rd place, because it was the quicker side, or the cleaner side of the track. So I mean, fair play to him, it did work in the end. And 15 corners make up this beautiful circuit in Portugal, one of which includes a lot of elevation. As you can see on the start-finish straights alone, you can't even see the drivers as they make their way up the hill. There's the McLaren, followed by a Williams close behind, and the naughty Haas, who is left stranded on the grid after being disqualified from the formation lap. We've got 16 drivers on the grid for tonight's 25% race, 4 of them starting on the medium compound tyres, and they are all at the back. The Aston Martin pulls into its grid slots as we're about to get this race underway. For the Portimao, the Portuguese Grand Prix, third time lucky. All 16 drivers are on the grid for 17 laps of Portimao. Consistency will be key, making the most of opportunities that may arise and only going for clean overtakes. The 5 red lights are on the screen. The Ferraris jump the start. I think half the grids jump the start, but it's lights out and away we go. I'm not getting any penalty notice, so it could just be a bug. We'll have to wait and see when we get the index up on the screen. But the Williams down the inside of the Red Bull. It's 3 wide between the Haas and the Williams make contact with the Aston Martin on the inside. The ultimate corner cut comes back up on the track, is in the barrier, hits another, I think it's teammate. It's carnage down at turn 4. There's a Ferrari sideways on the track, making his way up through turn 4. There's a Haas going slowly as well. As we make our way down the hill, there's a Red Bull lagging in the inside of a Mercedes, with an Aston Martin trying to feed his way through. Let's get the UI back up on the screen. It's Mason Head of Tootie Boy, who seems to be ghosting in the Red Bull. Up into 8th place from the back of the grid on the mediums. I think there might have been a bit of a glitch or a bit of lag from the start. It looked like a few drivers jumped the start, but only 2 drivers with time penalties. None of them for jumping. Boyd Vos with already a 1 second advantage from Tabby in second, Unique J in third, Farsa in fourth, aka in fifth, and Piero all the way down to 15th place. Not the best start from him, but he'll be looking to make his way up the grid after the end of lap 1. Let's have a look at the position. Get changes as Piero's off in the barrier and has been disqualified for going the wrong way. Interest, that is a very bizarre incident. Meanwhile, it is the McLaren who leads the yellow flags to remove the disqualified Ferrari. Janzu tries to get himself up the corner a bit. He's trying to go around the outside. JP Cyril trying to go down the inside of the Mercedes as Alexander spins off in the background in the house. Will drop down into 9th position and reset onto the circuit. That would, in a race, be a disqualification. Dom closely following AKA through the tricky turn 8. It's really easy to lose the rear as AKA gets the back end a little bit out of shape. That's going to set Dom for a move on the inside, riding on board with the Alpine. He sees the gap, he goes for it. They makes contact with the Alfa Romeo's rear right tyre, and the Alfa Romeo of the Aston Martin, resetting to track. That's Erdon. I'm not sure if he's lost it on himself or if he made contact. It was hard to see. This is absolutely this is wild, as Liam puts it in the chat. Portimao, a really easy track to make mistakes, which is probably one of the reasons why we selected it to be the evaluation race, to test the skill and the consistency at a tricky circuit with lots of tricky elevation changes. Appears that Tootie Boy has disconnected, which is why he's ghosted, which means the Mercedes of Jansu will easily be able to get the move up into 8th place, but he's been able to rejoin the lobby back. JB Cyril on the inside of Lucas in towards turn 2. Looked like they made contact, but out through turn 4. Another really easy traction corner. And another easy corner to lose the rear as Tabby and Unique J go wheel to wheel in towards turn 6 and 7, in towards turn 8. The Williams getting ahead of the Ferrari up into 2nd place. The battle for the bottom half of the podium, essentially, as Boyd Vos has absolutely blitzed the rest of the field. 2.2 seconds after 3 laps. It's the dream start from him. Plenty of clean air on the soft compound tyres. He has used a fair bit of ERS, not as much as Unique J, who's already down to 20 odd %. Pierre saying there was a strange glitch at the start, and apparently he was the only one to have it. Not looked like everyone jumped, well, half the grid jumped the start. It looks like someone's rejoined the lobby as the timings are resetting. The train forming behind Tootie Boy's Red Bull, but he's going to have DRS behind the Mercedes of Jansu. Is anyone going to be opportunistic to go for a move? Looks like JB Cyril pulls out of the slipstream of Lucas in front. Tootie Boys ran wide. Is that going to set the Aston Martin front? Lunge on the inside in towards turn 3. Gets the move done. Tootie Boy's going to try a switchback move into turn 4. There's a lot of contact between the Red Bull and the Aston Martin. Riding on board with the side pod of Lucas as Tootie Boy tries to hold it round the outside. I can't quite get back into the spectator camera. There we go. The battle for 2 points if this were to be a race, but technically is an evaluation race, so every position and time count, which is why going for moves is so crucial. Looks like a mistake from Erod. Allows MX Auto to go back through Tootie Boy, and Diadom and JB Cyril going wheel to it. Hasn't quite worked out for JB Cyril. A little bit of contact between those two as Farsa in the Red Bull gaining on Tabby in the Ferrari. Two teams who are fighting in the real life season of F1, fighting here on track in Portimao. DRS wide open for the Red Bull, and he's gaining on Tabby, using a lot of overtake but not gaining enough. The Ferrari also with the drag reduction system. Lucas going for it on the Mercedes to the outside, gets the move done up in towards 8th place, and needs a move from him, gets it before the braking zone. They're all single file behind, only a tenth separating Diadom and Tootie Boy. He'll be trying to set himself up for a move, whilst the Red Bull is on the slower medium compound tyre. For his strategy, he needs to get up the grid, put away on those softs, because when they come to pit, Tootie Boy is going to be a lot quicker. Here goes MX Orton on the inside of Diadom. Can't quite get the move done. Diadom's got it on traction, riding on board. You can see he is gaining. There's just enough room for him to slot in behind and retain the position. Tabby and Farsa going side by side through turn 11 into 12. But it looks like Tabby in the Ferrari just seems to have the edge, but has cost himself time to Unique J in front. So he's not going to have the DRS unless he can find 2 tenths through this final corner. It's the green dot on the map. He might, I think it was 1,000th out of the DRS. He hasn't got it. He's going to be vulnerable down the straight. Look how much Farsa's gaining with the DRS, with the overtake. He's gaining and gaining and gaining. Is he going to go for a move into turn 1 to the inside? He sends it wheel to wheel. There might have been slight contact. Tabby gets a time penalty for track limits, running wide at turn 2. MX Orton on the inside gets the move done from the Red Bull. Tootie Boy trying to hold it around the outside of Diadom, who sends one on the inside. A bit of contact made between these two, going wheel to wheel. Faster and Tabby going side by side for the final podium position. The Red Bull getting into the Ferrari, but there's contact. They're both off the track, but they keep it going in a straight line. Thankfully for them, didn't end up in a barrier. Just enough room left between the two. There's an Aston Martin sending it on the inside of a Red Bull, and an Alpine trying to get opportunistic. They're 3 wide. Diadom, Tootie Boy, and Erod in towards turn 7. Erod gets in front. How those 3 didn't end up in a barrier is beyond me. Apologies for not reading the chat. I see it popping up on the screen, but there's so much action happening here at Portimao. Is Diadom going to send one to the outside? Erod goes defensive, or slightly defensive, taking an alternate line as a few time penalties starts clocking in as we start lap 7 of 17, 11 laps to go at Portimao. Pit stops due in the next few laps. Yellow flags. It's Alexander retiring on the exit of turn 5 entry, turn 6. AKA's into the pits. That promotes Mason up into 5th place. But going back down to the battle for 10th place, the Williams ahead of the Mercedes with the aid of DRS, Erod and Diadom going wheel to wheel. The Alpine getting ahead of the Aston Martin as the Haas is cleared from the circuit. So almost back to green flag racing. It has been a while since I've done commentary. Still a bit rusty. So yeah, single file through turn 5 for probably the first time this race, and the regrets of not bringing some liquids to replenish my throat is one of the many mistakes I have, as Dutch Musso has dropped it on the exit of turn 8, like we see so many drivers do in previous league races at this track, and he will now drop into 13th place, only ahead of AKA, who has made a pit stop, the only driver to make a pit stop. Undercut in this game is super powerful. That was almost JB Cyril rear-ending the sister team of Tootie Boy in the Red Bull. Unique J into the pits, off with the soft compound tyres, will go on to a yellow striped medium as Farser and Tabby going wheel to wheel into turn 1. The Red Bull running the Ferrari wide off the track, gets the move down up into second place, but will be vulnerable through turn 4 into 5 as Tabby will have the drag reduction system. The rear wing opens, giving him the extra screen in a straight line. Faster goes defensive to the inside. Tabby swoops around the outside of the Red Bull. Can he get it on traction? Yes, indeed he does. Up into second place. I only just realised I don't have the tyres on the screen, something I usually have. The top 7 all on the soft, and the bottom 7, or what's that? Yeah, bottom 8 all on the mediums. 3 drivers to have pitted from the soft onto the mediums. Unique J, AKA, and Lucas. For Unique J strategy to work, he needs to hope the cars in front all pit. Is that a car off? No, it's not. It's Farser and Tabby going wheel to wheel, and the Red Bull getting back up ahead the Ferrari. Was that a strategical move from Tabby to get the DRS in towards turn 1 as the McLaren of Boy v Dove? He comes into the pits at the end of lap 8 onto lap 9. Farser in second place pulls into the pits, and the Ferrari of Tabby follows him in. Diadon being overtaken by Jansu at the final corner. Mercedes gets ahead of the Alpine and pulls into the pits. A few drivers taking this opportunity to pull into the pits, and for those who are fully aware of my previous commentaries, it does take me about half a season to get used to everyone's PlaySN name. Is Jamie Cyril going to come out wheel to wheel with the McLaren? There's contact between the two. The Red Bull Tootie Boy going wide at turn 1, and Boy Dove's race was almost, well, flashed before his eyes as he came out of the pit lane. Made a little bit of contact with oncoming traffic. Lucas and Mason going wheel to wheel, going in towards turn 3. The Aston Martin getting ahead of the Mercedes, but Mason will have the DRS in the run down towards turn 5. Not the longest straight, but long enough to go for a move if you get a good run through turn 4. He's late on the brakes, much later on the brakes, but not close enough to go for it around the outside, both on the fresh medium tyres. Dutch Musso gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings on lap 9. The back end stepping out of a few cars through turn 8 as Boy DeVos catching up to the back of Tootie Boy, who's been on those mediums since the start of the race. Could be into the pits at the end of this lap. Stays out, but this should be the easiest move of Boy DeVos career. Into turn 1 with the DRS, easy as you like, back up into the lead of the race. But look how much that gap has come down, from 7 seconds to 3.1 to Unique J behind, who pitted the lap earlier, was able to get out in some relatively clean air as Mason gets ahead of Lucas and is up into second place with a move into turn 1. Mason, though, he isn't going to give this one up without a fight. Oh, maybe he is, because he's dropped it at turn 4, and that's a big crash for the Aston Martin. Resets back onto the track, and if this was a league race, that would be disqualification. Resetting back to the track. It's prohibited. He's almost being lunged from Jansu behind, just to be able to slow it down in time, but his tyres are going to be cooked on that Mercedes, on the Aston Martin. Can he keep it through turn 8? No, he can't, and nor can the Mercedes of Jansu. I've forgotten how to use the spectator cam as Lucas, I think that was another reset to track. Luke drops it at turn 8 with the tyre temps at the rear just getting way too hot. So 17.8 for your race leader as Tootie Boy is into the pits off of the mediums and onto a set of medium tyres. He's got to make another pit stop. It's 2 mediums for Tutti Boy. I don't know what's happened with the strategy, but I think those tyres, or I think he was hoping for those tyres to be red, not yellow. He's going to have to make another pit stop. Started on mediums and has pitted for mediums. McSortle close to the back of Mason's Mercedes. Can they survive the tricky traction zone of turn 8? Indeed they do. Jamie Cyril ahead of Erod. Zunich J gets a 3-second time penalty. Quite a few penalties. Let's take a look. They are all on the screen for you to have a look at for yourself. Only 3 drivers yet to get a penalty. Let's get that back onto the tyres. As JMB Cyril is going to have a tricky time defending from this Aston Martin. He hasn't quite got the best run through turn 14 into 15. McSortle's got past Mason towards turn 1, but I don't think JMB Cyril is going to come out in this battle ahead. There's yellow flags in the first sector. I'm not too sure who that's for, as Erod gets the move done up into 9th place and ahead of JMB Cyril. 2 drivers who started this race on the medium compound tyres now find themselves on a set of softs, fresh softs, and it should be pretty quick. Yellow flags, and the middle sector. Was that Unique J off? It is Unique J in the Williams. He's overtaken by Tab. He drops down to 4th place. He's dropped it at turn 8. A really common mistake a lot of drivers do in both qualifying and the league races. One of the easiest, if not the easiest corner to lose it at, as Dutch Musso gets another 3-second time penalty. The gap's starting to open up a little bit. We've still got a few individual battles though, not quite the trains we saw from the start of the race. But due to the nature of the circuit, if you have the DRS through the final corner and you're within 5 tenths, there's not much you can do if you're the car in front, as Imex Auto down the inside gets the move down up into 5th place. AK though, he's going to do a stunning job to fight this back. Just going to bide his time though. And use the DRS in towards turn 5. He's almost pushing Imex Auto down the straight. He goes for it on the outside. Can he get this move done round the outside? Cut back to the inside, get a good exit, go wheel to wheel, use overtake to try and get a good driver's contact between the two, keep it clean. The Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo and the Williams, sorry, I was looking at the Aston Martin on the map. I think that's Erod and JMB Cyril, who are making their way through turn 7 and 8 now. 2 drivers on a set of the soft tyres. As Boy DeVos, I apologise, but he's so quick that his name just flashes past me. Leading this race by 6.7 seconds ahead of Farsa in the Red Bull. Tabby 4.5 seconds behind, and Unique J doing his best to put that spin behind him. Imex Auto might not be able to keep AK Bloody Legend behind him for much longer. Goes defensive to the inside. AK swoops around the outside into turn 1. But this battle will not be over. Imex Auto on a fresher set of mediums will have the grip advantage in theory. Hasn't got a good run though. Has the DRS. Not close enough though to send one on the inside nor the outside. Will have to bide his time. And yes, it should. Well, I mean, it could be there. Blah blah. Ooh, hello. I forgot how to speak. It should be an interesting season with Boy DeVos pace. We'll have to wait and see if there's anyone from any of the other groups who could challenge him, because at this rate he seems to be pulling away from the rest of the field. has got a 7.4 second lead. Let's look back at the battle for 5th place, which could go to the end of the race. Only 3 laps to go here at Portugal. This one's absolutely flown past us. MX Auto in the slipstream of AKA Bloody Legend. There's not much of a fight. The Alfa Romeo camp up with the Williams, with the DRS going through turn 1. Jansu picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit violations as we continue to ride on board with the rear of MX Auto's Williams. Is AKA going to send one on the inside? No, he's not. He's going to just be a little bit patient and wait for turn 1. But obviously the risk of waiting for a move is if you make a mistake and pull yourself out of the DRS and the slipstream. It's quite tricky to close down the gap unless you have the superior pace, because you can see a lot of these drivers don't have any overtake left because it is so hard to save your overtake at this track. Not many heavy braking zones. You kind of got turn 1, but then you're taking that in 4th or 5th gear. I'm tempted to go for a hot lap with Boy DeVos, but the last time I've done that in commentary, the leader crashed. For reference, that was Play Dutchy in GT Sport at Monza on the final lap of the race. Only just won it by 3/10 with the damage he sustained. Meanwhile, back to the racing here at Portimao. Tabby's able to keep 3rd position just for now, with Unit J gaining on the back of him, looking for a move on the inside after his spin earlier at turn 8. He's looking for a redemption recovery. Opens up the DRS down the back straight in towards turn 5. Is he going to send one? Has a look, but couldn't quite find the key to open the door. What about AKA? Can he send one on the inside? Indeed he does! Aggressively swipes back over to the racing line. Luckily, neither driver in the barrier. Lucas crashing and resetting to the track once again as Boy DeVos gets a 3-second penalty, meaning Tootie Boy is officially the cleanest driver on the circuit with no track limit violations, if you ignore the drivers that have either retired or been disqualified from this race. As McLaren starts the final lap of the Wednesday group evaluation race. If you're new or haven't tuned in from qualifying, the point of these races are we have 3 races on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday of different drivers in different groups, and it's to set them up for the main division. We put the quick drivers all together and the rest in another group as Unit J looks to try and send one on the Ferrari. Let's up the tempo, let's add a few more chilies, as I like to say in my commentary. The spice has increased from I think a 3 to a 5. 5 being the max. Here goes AKA on the inside of the Williams. It's close between the two. MX Auto was able to keep it round the outside. Tabby and Unit J going well for the podium. Tabby trying to switch back. Unit J parks his car in all the right places to deny him of the cutback opportunity. Not many overtaking opportunities left at this technical circuit of Portimao. But can he find what it takes as the Haas-Off at turn 2? But it's been an absolute dominant race from Boy DeVos. No one has seemed to challenge him from the get-go. He put it on pole position. He's got the fastest lap of the race. It's a hat-trick here at Portimao, and he wins Wednesday's evaluation group by 9.2 seconds ahead of Farser in second. Unit J and Tabby battling it out for third. I don't know what the penalty situation is like, so this could be close up to the line. Unit J gets it on penalties as Tabby actually spun before the line, but gets the podium, gets P3 on time penalties. As his AI has a massive crash with someone, I couldn't see who it was. Unit J drops down to 4th and AKA up to 5th with Dive Dob in 6th. It's MX Auto all the way down to 7th place with time penalties. Mason in 8th, Erod in 9th, Jamie Sewell in 10th, Jansu in 11th. Dutch Musso looks to finish this race in 12th place, although he does have a time penalty, so will drop down to 13th place as Tootie Boy, the only driver without a time penalty, will finish in 13th after having to 2-stop, and Lucas in 14th place. That is it. The evaluation races are done, and all the F1 admins will get working hard to get everyone in their correct groups. It looks like we're not going to get a driver of the day. You've all been awful. No, I'm joking. Truly, it's been a pleasure to be back, and a nice start to the season. I think this definitely counts as a return to league racing here at Gavra Racing. It's a McLaren on the top step of the podium, something that's probably not going to happen in real life F1 for a long, long time after the results of Bahrain. Apologies to any McLaren fans. But it's the international driver of Boydie Ross who takes the win ahead of the Swede. I think it was the Portuguese driver in third. South African, there was red and green both flags, and I just got them slightly mixed up and completely forgot of Tabby Tobdek. So good to see that I've got quite a few nations in this lobby actually. Good to see people joining from all over the world. I'd love to see it. Anyway, I've got 10 seconds to go through the grid. I'm not doing myself any justice by waffling. Boydivov wins from first in second, Tabby in third, Unit James fourth, AKA in fifth, Diadom in sixth, Max Auto in seventh, Nathan in eighth, Ewan in ninth, James running at the top 10, Jasmine in 11th, Tutor Boy in 12th. We've still got plenty of time. I know we don't. It was Tutor Boy in 12th, Dutch Musso in 13th, and someone in 14th. Lucas, that was it. Piero and Alexander retiring and getting disqualified. Thank you guys for joining us in the chat for this stream. We will be back in the next few weeks for the first round of the what season's this? 7? I think it's season 7. I've done 6 seasons. It's got to be season 7. So I think I've done 6 seasons ago. I know, I'm old. Yeah. I'm old. I'm saying it's season 7. If it's not season 7, I don't care. Anyway, where is the... I made the calendar and I can't remember what the first round is. I think it's Silverstone. Join us next week or the week after. I don't know when the season starts. I think it's next week. I am useless. I'm not like David Croft. I don't have all the stats in front of me. Join us next week for the first round of season 7 at Silverstone. Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe. No, that's wrong. I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I have no idea. Join us next week. You'll see the notification in Discord. If anyone's interested as well, in the chat we have a GT7 race at Daytona on the 1st of April. And no, it's not a joke. All the info is in the Discord. I'll see you guys next week. Who knows? I might do commentary. We'll have to wait and see. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you for joining me. And I'll see you all next week. Goodbye.